Hello, my name is Dr. Thea von Haften, and I'm a mystic. Now, what is a mystic? Whatever you know about a mystic, you're going to be surprised to find out that I'm not your typical kind of mystic. I'm not a white old man with a long beard. I don't subscribe to the Zen Buddhism type of mysticism. And I'm not the type of table-moving mystic as we knew in the Belle Epoque of the 19th century, where Helena Blavatsky moved tables and invited people for sessions. Even if the style of my studio setup reminds a little bit of that time, with the candles and the light. And the painting of the goddess with the pentagram behind me. But I'm a modern type of mystic. I'm European. I grew up in a Christian ideology. And I studied from a very early age anything I could find about mysticism. I read a short book on the art of being an archer in the Zen way that was very popular in the early 80s. I tried my hand on D.T. Suzuki and I didn't understand a word. I read everything about Helena Blavatsky and the occult, but it seemed to me kind of charlatanery at its best and very entertaining. I very much felt attracted by the occult. Anything that was gothic and gruesome, which was also very European. I loved the paintings of Böcklin and later of Kubin, and felt very attracted to everything that had to do with the time between death and life. As a young adult, I studied Sanskrit and Indology for a few years. No, for a year maybe. But I was enthusiastic about yoga and understood that Joch, the German word for yoke, and yoga have the same root, that it means attachment. To be attached, really attached to God. But I didn't understand that it also means it happens the other way around. That God actually may be really attached to you. And I only found out that there is a reciprocal relationship between the divine and its little human form. When the divine started talking to me. And it started talking to me through tarot cards, which is also kind of European. And it showed itself in three forms. It showed itself as the King of Wands. It showed itself as the King of Cups. And it showed itself as the Emperor. And when I saw patterns and patterns arise, I realized somebody's talking to me, using my hand to draw certain cards. And I also discovered the Iing Oracle. And I understood, reading many different translations, that it's the biggest book on strategy ever devised by man. And that somebody tried to teach me something using the Iing Oracle. And when I drew certain patterns, I suddenly realized this makes sense. It's a language, and somebody tries to reveal himself to me. And I asked, is this you? Who are you? And then the next oracle that came, the next hexagram, was 6 straight lines, the pure yang. And I asked again, who are you? And then one line was interrupted, and that line said, the dragon has landed in the field. And I understood that he, that I always hoped would be there after all, had finally arisen and started talking to me. And I asked, and who am I? And the next hexagram that came out was 6 interrupted lines, pure kun. And I understood, just like behind me, there is a triangle open up to the sky and another triangle arising from earth. That the sky was falling into me. And he was the creative power. And I was the piece of mud that he made alive. But that I would be also receiving his creative powers inside of me. And not long after that, I had a dream in which I received Shaktipat, where your energy channel is opened and an incredible joy and happiness and an amazing, colorful, kaleidoscopic view in which I was flying. And I remembered this dream amazingly well in a time when I didn't dream at all. And a few nights after that, I had an unguided Kundalini awakening, which means that the life force attacked me from the outside and started moving me around, going into my body, contorting me, shaking me, bending me, and starting to move its way through me. And it started by wringing me out and making me spit out something like a huge snake. That had eaten me up from the inside. And this was the start of a 2-month process where sometimes I was bent and moved and bent, mostly through my spine, entire nights, like 13 hours in one session, where my muscles would almost give out. And I was shaking, and my legs were shaking, and my arms were moving. And this power took me over until it finally had opened me up to a degree that all these energies inside of me connected in my brain with my crown chakra. And then my third eye opened. And what does that mean? I never understood what it means when they say, and suddenly you see. Because what happened is that on July 1st, 2023, a voice started talking to me, just like any normal voice in my